you were talking about those unions or those Republicans from Pennsylvania that are very pro-union. Generally speaking, more to the left of a lot of the other factions of the Republican Party. And I was wondering what you would do to separate yourself from those groups.
What I have done to separate myself is the important thing, because past behavior is the best indication of future behavior. What I have done, for instance, when Gray Davis tried to jam through standards using the U.S. Department of Labor that shut down open shop apprenticeship programs, I threw that back in his face and forced the Department of Labor to qualify those apprenticeship programs in the open shops instead of shut them down. On the unions who wanted to increase taxes so they could fund their little special, sell a train up and down the East Coast or their, whatever, I voted against that. So, I mean, your point is well made, but you can't just dismiss 40% of union membership. I mean, they have a right to invest their money to get the leadership in Congress that they need. And I don't know that I'd take Karl Marx's check, but I am going to do every single thing I can to put Republicans in office and defeat Democrats. And if that means taking their money to defeat them, then that's okay.
Okay, I was just saying.
Sandy?
Yes. Okay, go right ahead.
I help with your
I know that.
thing.
That's the reason I won.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I have a question for you that we're supposed to support Republicans, and we had a candidate jump in for this seat and appears to be a fairly qualified candidate. And I was gone, and then all of a sudden, 2 more Republicans jump into the mix. And my question is, why, instead of us going against each other, why couldn't you have gotten in there and said, okay, we'll help with that other candidate, instead of you jumping in with both of them?
I reversed the question. Why'd they jump in?
They were there first.
There wasn't any secret that I was interested in this. The fact of the matter is that any individual, whether I like it or not, has the right to run. And they need to come to the marketplace and make their case. And that's what elections are about. I'm happy. Frankly, I actually look at the primary. Whoever comes out of this primary is going to be very well tested for the general election. This is a good thing. So I'm happy to have them in there. But nobody has there's not an anointment process here. Nobody gets anointed to run for these offices.
I understand. But it's like we kill ourselves. The Republican Party kills ourselves with being against one another.
That's a great thing about being a Republican, is you get to stand up for what you individually think, and if you put your name on the ballot, you get to have the feedback directly from the voters. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. It really is.
I just want us.
Okay.
I just want us to get along.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, earlier when you spoke about Omni Vera receiving money from unions, you said that he was, going to be beholden to them. But then when you receiving money from unions, then it's a good thing because you're helping Republicans. Why the discrepancy?
Okay, that money that was received from the unions, I'm not aware of any of that coming to me. I'm sure somebody will check that, but I'm not aware of any of that coming to me. So, if it did, it didn't influence my votes. I still did what I thought was right, and I'm going to do that again if elected. So.
Hi, I wanted to ask a question about how do you stand up to peer pressure against leadership? I'm asking that, meaning, no, we're the Republican Party, we are a united party, however, we come from different areas of the country. Ohio is going to believe in a different than a California is going to believe, and Arizona is going to believe different from a Nebraska. So I'm asking is, how are you going to be able to stand up if the party comes up to you and says, Congressman Ose, can you vote with us on this?
Okay, it's a great question.
Though your constituents may be overwhelmingly against it.
It's a gr-
Leadership has put on a, has been known to put their hammer down.
It's a great question. I've actually faced that before, where I felt that the interests of my district were different than what leadership was asking. And I've shared that with them very professionally. I mean, they go out and whip every vote, not every vote, but a large number of the close votes, they'll go out and whip them, meaning they'll count the votes, find out where the members are, what their problems are, try to address them. I've faced that before. I've stood up for the interests of this district. I'll just tell you, you think it's tougher to stand there with the Speaker of the House telling you I need your vote, or do you think it's tougher to stand there across the bargaining table with somebody in real estate saying you're going to have to sell this to me for this, or your banker there saying that he's going to call your loan, or your contractor saying I'm going to walk off the job if you don't pay me more? Which do you think of those as tougher? Because I've faced them all.
Okay, I want to thank you for coming here tonight, Doug.
All right, Carl.
I want to remind everybody that we'll be sending out renewal of your membership, and all those that become members of Republicans of River City will have an opportunity to vote on who we're going to be endorsing for the various races that are in Sacramento County. So keep your mailbox open and send back your dues right away.
How much are dues this year, Carl?
Same as what they are every year,
Oh,
$25.
fantastic.
We haven't raised them. Okay. And again, I want to thank you.
Thank you, Carl. It's a pleasure to be here. All right. I feel like a movie star. You know?
Well, he looks great.
Also, our county chairman, she's got an announcement, don't you? What's coming up?
Absolutely. How many of you know that on February the 8th, Saturday, we're doing a crab feed? How many of you have purchased your tickets? $4 and $2 because we need to fill that room. Last year we had about